So very quickly, before I hand over to our esteemed delegates that are already seated here on the high table, I would like to recognize some of the heads of organizations who have accompanied the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to attend this very important meeting of the Rabat process. Just to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, the highly esteemed Honorable Tijani Aliu Ahmed. Please make him feel welcome. And also we have someone who you'll be hearing from very soon today, the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, who I've always described as the national treasure, the highly esteemed Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa. Please make her feel welcome. And we also have representing the chairman of the National Population Commission, the Honorable Commissioner representing Edo State for the National Population Commission, Dr. Tony Ayejina. Please make him feel very much welcome. And we also have representing the DG of the National Intelligence Agency, His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed. Please make him feel welcome. He's represented by Mr. Francis Emena. Thank you. And so, again, I bid you okay, just two more people to recognize. We have representing the Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, the Director of Violence Against Persons Prohibition Department, Mrs. Tolu Odugbeson. And also, please make her feel welcome. And also the Special Advisor on Policy, representing the Minister of Women Affairs, Madam Hadiza Zubeiru. Please make her feel welcome as well. So again, I welcome you to this highly esteemed gathering. I will hand over now to my co-MC, Ambassador Catherine Odida, to make her statement.
Thank you very much, Alex. My name is Ambassador Catherine Odida MNI, Director of Migrant Affairs at the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons. I am honored to serve as your Master of Ceremony for this important event alongside my colleague, Alex. We are gathered here in Abuja for a landmark occasion, the first Rabat process thematic meeting to be held under Nigeria's chairmanship. This meeting theme, Youth Innovation and Education, Driving the Future of Migration, reflects the growing recognition of the pivotal role young people play in shaping migration dynamics and the opportunities that innovation presents in addressing shared challenges. The theme captures the essence of today's global migration realities across our continent and beyond. Young people are key drivers of change. With the right investment in education and innovation, they can help transform migration into a tool for development and empowerment. It is worthy of note that this meeting is being co-chaired by Spain, and we are truly, truly grateful for the strong and enduring collaboration that has brought us up to this point. we are deeply grateful to the Secretariat of the Rabat process, the ICMPD, for their excellent coordination and technical support, which have been instrumental in ensuring the seamless organization of the event. Over the course of this meeting, we look forward to thought-provoking exchanges, practical ideas, and collaborative strategies that can support youth engagement and drive innovation in migration governance. At this point, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Netewa Goshe-Yewada, whose leadership continues to guide Nigeria's humanitarian and migration policy landscape. We also warmly welcome the Honorable Federal Commissioner, Honorable Tijani Ahmed, for his guidance, diligence, and commitment. Also, the chairperson of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Dr. Abike Dabire-Erewa, and other thematic leads represented here, the National Bureau of Statistics, the National Population Commission, the National Immigration Service, and others, for their unflinching support towards this auspicious meeting. Your presence reflects a shared commitment to dialogue, cooperation, and forward-looking solutions for migration. And additionally, we want to say a big thank you to all distinguished guests who are here today for this occasion. Thank you very much for finding time to be here with us. We say thank you once again, and welcome to Abuja. We wish us all meaningful and productive meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Catherine. So, without further ado, but before I do that, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you drove here, we know that there is a payment for parking. You pay to park. You can head over at the end of the day, if you drove here with your own vehicle, you can head to the concierge and just tell them that you're here for the Rabat process to validate your parking, and then you won't have to pay for that. I think that's good news, yeah? All right. Also very important, there is interpretation. Channel 1 is English and channel 2 is French. All right, voila. I would like to invite now for his opening statement the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, His Excellency Professor Nentawe Yewada. Please make him feel welcome.
Before I welcome you to Nigeria, let me use the opportunity to recognize the presence of the co-chair of this session, Her Excellency Pilar Mendes, the Ambassador at Large for Migratory Affairs of the Kingdom of Spain. For all he has been doing for Nigeria, His Excellency Gautier Mignot. The person who is the host of this program. He's been running up and down for this program. The Federal Commissioner, Honorable Aliyu Tijani, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons in Nigeria. And one person I used to watch on TV for many years until I met her, who has harnessed so much of Nigerians' potential in diaspora, Honorable Abike Dabiri, who has been working with the Nigerians in diaspora and she's heading Nigerian Diaspora Commission. Thank you, Deborah, for harnessing all the potentials of the Nigerians in diaspora. Let me also recognize the presence of Monica Zanet of the International Center for Migration, Policy and Development. Let me welcome all the delegates from different countries, head of governments, and ambassadors here. Today, we are more than happy because this is our first session of welcoming you to Nigeria. I'm sure most of you will come to Nigeria with so much expectation of the country called Nigeria. And I'm sure your expectation will all be met. But on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the good people of Nigeria, I welcome you warmly to this thematic meeting on youth, innovation, and education, driving the future of migration. It is my distinct honor to receive almost about 100 delegates from what I'm seeing here, from various partner countries of the Rabat process, as well as representatives from international organizations, civil societies, the private sector, youth-led institutions, and also our diaspora. Your presence affirms our collective commitment to shaping a humane, future-facing migration agenda. I want to also note that this will do to ensure that we give dignity, opportunity, and shared responsibility about migration. In January this year, during the senior officials meeting in Porto, Nigeria proudly assumed the chairmanship of the Rabat process, becoming the first English-speaking country in West Africa to do so. This, to us as a nation, is a significant milestone, not only for Nigeria, but also for the entire region. We embrace this responsibility with a vision that is inclusive, development-focused, and youth-centered. As chair, Nigeria is committed to bringing fresh perspective to the table and to championing the migration narrative that is safe, is orderly, and also empowering. We are committed to steering the Rabat process towards a meaningful action, grounded in evidence, policy coherence, and also people-first strategy. We must be reminded today that over 80% of migration from Africa to Europe is regular, especially for Nigerians. Most migration from Nigeria especially are regular, and a lot of African countries have the same. So only less than 20% or thereabout are irregular, and that's why we're here, to focus on those 20% that we need to work on. Migration, when governed well, it's not a crisis. It is a contribution to development, a rich knowledge of culture, labor, and also resilience. Our mission must be to create a system that recognizes this reality and not to distort it. Nigeria, like many African countries, is youthful. Over 60% of our population are under 25. These young men and women carry within them the promise of innovation, resilience, and leadership, and yet many remain on the margin of these opportunities. We are determined to change this. Through initiatives like the National Youth Investment Fund by the President and the Empower, the Digital Skill for All program by the Federal Ministry of Communication. We are bridging this gap and building education, employment, and opportunity to meet each other at one spot. We are also investing in new frontiers through the National Talent Export Program and expanded investment in technical and vocational education training. Nigeria has trained and prepared thousands of young Nigerians for global competitiveness. In response to this, we are taking more steps to ensure that we make migration as regular as possible for Nigerians, especially the young people. No conversation on migration is complete without recognizing the indispensable role of the diaspora. In Nigeria in 2022, Nigerians in diaspora contributed 21.9 billion in remittances to the country. But more than the remittances, our citizens abroad are becoming leaders and change makers in technology, in education, in sports, and also in the creative economy. I'm sure most of you who are seated here, you can't watch a football over the weekend without seeing a Nigerian in a team. You just can't. You can't listen to music across Europe, across the world, without listening to one Afro music from Nigeria. You can't invite people to the global stage and you invite 10 musicians without one Nigerian being present. So Nigerians are contributing at the global stage. Therefore, the Nigerian diaspora is deeply embedded in our national story. They are investors, they are innovators, they are informal ambassadors of the value we hold as a nation. Permit me to share this story of a young Libyan by name Ishmael. Ismail left his country to Kano with his parents as a tender kid who migrated irregularly to Kano. He became an out-of-school child who was roaming the streets. We called him in Nigeria Almajiris. He became an Almajiris. And from Kano, some of the Almajiris took them down to Lagos. And in Lagos, he was adopted by a foster parent who put him in school. Today, Ishmael is one of the best developers working for an American company in the US. Just a bridge between training, investing in education, and bridging that with opportunity can change the story of many across Africa. It shows what happens when education meets innovation and when policy can meet the people. As chair of the Rabat process, Nigeria proposes 3 concrete priorities based on the potential of what Ishmael represents. Let's co-create the youth innovation hubs across Africa and Europe. Spaces where digital skills, entrepreneurship, and migration literacy intersect, especially in underserved and in transit regions. Because that was exactly what happened to Ishmael. Along a transit route, he met education. He met the potential. And that was all that changed him. And today, he's contributing at the global stage. Number 2, let's develop a harmonized migration-ready skills framework to ensure qualification earned in Africa are recognized globally, reducing irregular migration incentives and also promoting circular mobility. Number 3, let's establish a joint youth mobility and innovation fund between the EU, African Union, and the private sector partners to scale education access, seed youth enterprises, and support integration of returnees if they return back to their nations. Nigeria cannot walk this path alone. We call on our Rabat process partners, our donor nations, our development institutions, and the private sector to co-invest in this vision. Let us scale what works. Let us share data. Let's match skills with global demands. And let's put our young people in the room, not just as recipients, but as designers of their own solution and their destiny. Empowering you through education and innovation is not just a migration strategy. It is a peace strategy. It is also a prosperity strategy. And also a survival strategy, not just for us, but for the entire world. As chair of the Rabat process, Nigeria stands ready, not just to lead, but to listen, to learn, and to co-create with all of you seated here. Let this moment be remembered, not just for the speeches we make today, but rather for the partnership we forge after leaving this room, for the lives we will transform, and for the future we will secure and shape as a people. Having said that, let me welcome you to Nigeria, and I hereby declare the session open.
Thank you to the Honorable Minister for Poverty Alleviation, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nentawe Yowada. While he was speaking, we had the presence of the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande. Please make him feel welcome, showing the importance that Nigeria who I would like to invite to the podium to just give a brief goodwill message because he is here. Please, let's receive the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, His Excellency Comrade Ayodele Olawande, for a goodwill message.
Good morning, everyone. Let me stand on existing protocols. But with that, let me welcome and thank the workaholic professor and a well-trained burning man, the Minister of Humanitarian, for thinking deeply and seeing the reason why everybody will come together on youth educations, the meeting to bring the progress, the skills development, and a lot of things like that. Like again, my name is Ayodele Olawande, the Minister of Youth Development, and I will tell you that this is the first time since 1999 as African, Nigerian, democratically well-presented country having a young person, really young person, as the Minister of Youth. And one of the reasons why the president of this country thinks about this, thought about it carefully, is that let us have a youth for youth that thinks alike, that knows the difference and can know exactly how we can approach the problem, because we all know the problem. We're talking about skills. When you put large numbers of people together, one of those things that I will keep on telling you, including myself, is the problem we are facing as a young people. Unemployment, this and that and putting us together. But again, do we have our skills? Have we upskilled our skills? And that is why I will pick my goodwill message from what I heard from the Honorable Minister of Interior, Honorable Minister of Humanitarian, about how we can come together as one, as a body, as nations. Different African countries, European countries, all of us will come together to fight this issue of unemployment. And I've said it, a country that really wants to build on something is that you take up the growth of our country. The growth cannot happen if the capital and human capital building is not working together. And how can it work together? We have a Nigerian youth that I know today, that we all know are very strong. We have a Nigerian youth that think and do. In whatever innovative industry you find us, we excel. We have the youth in education, we have the youth in sports, we have the youth in technology, we have the youth in agriculture, we have the youth in whatever way you want to mention it. And there is no way you don't see the formidable in us. We are formidable, we are agile. We know how to make things turn to whatever it is. Go to anywhere in the world. We make sure that we rule, and we are the larger percentage of people that makes it good. Forget about what people say about us. The president is working hard, because any country that is going to create an employment and good education, innovations for the young people must first create an enable environment for the young people to thrive. And that is what this administration is based on. That is what the president is working with his lieutenants every night and day to make sure that an enable environment is being created. And again, sitting down here today with what we've heard from all those development partners, ambassadors that are here, when you go on social platforms and all that, you say, Nigeria is this, but you are here receiving the AC and receiving the air fresh, everything is okay. It tells you that you are a peaceful state. We are in a peaceful country, and we can collaborate together to make sure that the growth of this country is stable, so that a lot of people can come and create that enable environment that the government is pushing, so that all of us will work in synergy. The youth education is important, and there is no how you can do education without innovation, and that is where we are in the technology space of this country. I welcome you. I don't want to speak much, because if you give me the opportunity, I will continue to talk more and more and more in those areas, in techs and other things that we're doing. And as a Ministry of Youth, we've made it as a point of our contact that 3 things is very important. And what are the 3 things? This ministry and government is set to support the youth, to empower the youth, and to protect the youth. And that is why one of our first months in the ministry, as a Minister of Youth, we've put up our own Coursera. And our own Coursera is a Nigerian Youth Academy, whereby you go there to do skills, open to digital community, open to gig community, and a lot of things you can do on the NIA space, which is Nigerian Youth Academy. And this is for us to empower, to close the gap of skills. And what are we pushing? We said we want 7 million of Nigerian youth in the next 2 years to have at least 2 skills. That is 1 youth, 2 skills. And that is our slogan, because again, the slogan that is in everybody's mouth today, that Nigerians have 70% of the population of this country, which is no more a statement, but a slogan. We are here to support, because again, we don't blame the young people, because for good 40 years, before this administration come up, the youth cannot feel the government. They can't see the government, and they can't touch the government. But we are bringing the government back to their step, and we are making the government look visible to them by being open to them. Now we have a youth help desk that you can reach us to. You can talk to us. You can ask us questions. We will engage with humanitarian, we will engage with health, we will engage with education, because the Ministry of Youth, a lot of people does not even know the reason for the Ministry of Youth is to bring the government closer to the younger people. I welcome you, and I welcome everybody. And I want to tell you that this engagement It's going to be a robust engagement that is going to shape in a lot of vocational innovations, educations, in every way that is going to affect the youth. Because every one of us here today, neither you are old, you are young, you are still working for us, which we are the youth of this country and the youth of the world. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande. And now I would like to invite the co-chair of this meeting, who we've already acknowledged before, but please acknowledge very strongly because of the strong support that we received from the Kingdom of Spain, Her Excellency Pilar Mendez Jimenez, who's the Ambassador at Large, Migratory Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Spain. Please make her feel welcome.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Ntawe Koshwe-Iwata. Honorable Minister for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande. Your Excellency Fatou Sosar, Commissioner for Development and Social Affairs of ECOWAS Commission. Your Excellency Gauthier Mignot, Ambassador, Head of the EU Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Honorable Federal Commissioner for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Honorable Tijani Aliyu Ahmed. Madame Monica Zanetti, Head of the Pan-Africa region of ICMPD. Distinguished representatives of the participating states of the Rabat process and the civil society and youth organizations, dear all. Please allow me to start by extending my sincere gratitude to the government of Nigeria for their commendable leadership as presidency of the Rabat process. To the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, and more specifically to Her Excellency, Ambassador Catherine Udida, and her team for the fruitful cooperation during the last months in the preparations of this thematic meeting on youth, education, and innovation driving the future of migration. And a big thank you to all Nigerian authorities and society for your warm hospitality we have been feeling since the very first moment of our arrival. As a co-founder of the Rabat process, Spain is profoundly honored to co-chair together with you this first ever meeting of the Rabat process in Nigeria. We are certain its agenda will bring forward priority area number 1 of the Cadiz Action Plan, highlighting development benefits of migration for all parties concerned. I would also like to recognize and thank ICMPD role as Rabat Process Secretariat for their commitment to promoting constructive exchanges and for its assistance to all of us partner countries. On December the 5th, 2024, Spain's Prime Minister launched our new Spain-Africa Strategy 2025-2028, reflecting our vision of what we consider to be an equal-to-equal strategic partnership, not only for Spain, but also we wish these principles to inspire the whole of Europe and Africa relationship. This Spanish strategy sets forth a comprehensive plan to promote regular migration, sustainable development, and shared prosperity. It also anticipates the creation of the Advisory Council on Africa, which will include renowned African professionals and leaders from diverse sectors and backgrounds whose insightful remarks will help us in Spain improve the design of our partnerships with the continent. Spain strongly celebrates Nigeria's leadership and core priorities of the Rabat process, with a focus on youth, education, innovation, and regular pathways. All these elements will be quintessential in persuading young generation to avoid risking their lives through irregular channels. Nigerian and Spain's priority are very much aligned, and this is the main reason we are proud and very thankful for the opportunity to co-chair this meeting today. The decision of the Nigerian presidency of the Rabat process to begin it with this thematic meeting is more than timely. Our two regions have been showing complementary demographic trends. IOM forecasts indicate that by 2050, Africa's working age population is expected to increase by 450 million people. These figures highlight the extraordinary opportunity for inter-regional collaboration and co-development that we must make our best to unleash. It is in this demographic context that the importance of youth leadership and innovation becomes instrumental for long-standing and balanced positive impact of migration flows. Moreover, in the current international context, never before has the Rabat process been so useful and needed than today. Spain believes migratory multilateralism is a cornerstone to unlocking the potential of migration for mutual development. Thus, allow me to comment in our discussions in the Rabat process, jointly led by the ECOWAS Commission and the European Commission, which for the first time in our continent's united history has a Commission for Internal Affairs and Migration, to participate also, the participation also here to date of UN international organizations specialized in migration, OIM and UNCHR, your role is irreplaceable. During the next 2 days, our discussions and exchanges will hopefully bring us light around the 4 key words reflected in the title of this thematic meeting: youth, education, innovation, and migration. Allow me to share with you some core ideas around these concepts. Talking about youth, Spain has always been a strong believer in the power of youth. EU, nowadays worldwide known Erasmus program, was once a Spanish initiative we brought to the EU table back in 1987. It will soon be and has become a 4 decades long program that has not only strengthened cohesiveness among Europeans, but now also expanded over EU borders, including Africa. Under Erasmus Plus, Spain welcomed in 2023 195,000 students, approximately 15% of the total participants, making Spain the most popular destinations of EU's main youth program. But I also learned that in Europe, Nigerian students are the #1 beneficiaries in Africa and the second in the world of Erasmus Plus. Talking about education, in Horizon Europe, the EU's main research and innovation program, Spain ranks 3rd in grant acquisition and 1st in project leadership. Spanish universities and companies come here to our Study in Europe fair and lead hundreds of collaborative R&D projects that address global challenges such as green transition, digital innovation, and inclusive growth. We also wish the Union of the Skills and Competitiveness Compass, recently launched by President von der Leyen, to provide momentum to the joint development of both African and European competitiveness. Talking about innovation, allow me also to express my gratitude to Casa Africa and EA University for the contribution coming from Spain and participation in this meeting, but also, very importantly, to my fellow colleagues from the Ministry of Inclusion, Social Security and Migration of Spain. Department which in Spain holds the core competence on the socio-economic aspects of migration, and who in session 2 will be sharing here in Abuja Spain's best practices deriving from our projects having at heart migrant youth. 2 Spanish ministries working together in Abuja with 2 Nigerian ministries is the clearest expression of the whole of government approach in line with the United Nations Global Compact on Migration we wish to foster worldwide together. This is also the first time that the Rabat process opens up to the participation of representatives from civil society organizations and youth diaspora, signaling also our commitment to the whole of society approach. One of Spain's main characteristics when designing our migration policies is having a very active listening mode to the needs and concerns of our African partners, their governments, and their society. This is the very reason why we co-founded the Rabat process nearly 20 years ago, and it's still the reason why we co-chair this meeting today too. And last but not least, talking about migration, Spain believes migration is a vector for joint socio-economic development. And we have three messages today for African young generations. We hear you. We want you safe, and we want you successful. Your success will be that of your country of origin as much as that of the countries of your destination. Spain is the EU country closest to Africa. But this is not only a matter of geography. We also hold you close to our hearts and minds. We come to Abuja in the hope that co-chairing this first meeting of the Rabat process in Nigeria will be a testimony of our commitment to all of our highly esteemed African partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ambassador Pilar, for again restating the commitment of Spain and all the wonderful work that you have done supporting African youth, and in particular Nigerian youth, with the Erasmus program. And now I'd like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Gautier Mignon, who is the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Please make him feel welcome.
Thank you very much to our Masters of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on existing protocols also, acknowledging the valuable presence of Honorable Minister Professor Nentawe Yilwada and Honorable Minister Comrade Ayodele Olawande, of Ambassador Pilar Mendez Jimenez, of Madam Commissioner Fatou Sossar, and of Madam Monica Zanet, and of all of you participants to the Rabat process, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to congratulate warmly the opera singers who surprised and delighted us with this wonderful cultural introduction. I think we should do this in all our technical meetings and political meetings. It was a wonderful initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, at a time when in a number of countries and regions around the globe, including in Europe, migration is weaponized, used as an instrument of pressure, or migrants served as scapegoats for crime or socio-economic shortcomings, and see some of their basic rights trampled, it is essential to reaffirm the principles and objectives that unite the members of the Rabat process. Respect for human rights and rule of law, including international law, protection of migrants, in particular the most vulnerable, against all forms of exploitation and trafficking, responsible and coordinated management of migration flows, adapted to the realities of the societies and labor markets of countries of origin and destination, in a spirit of partnership, respect, and solidarity. We recognize the importance of continuing and deepening the dialogue on all aspects of migration management. The Rabat process provides a key framework for structured migration dialogue and cooperation between Europe and Africa. The strong participation of EU member states today is clear evidence of Europe's commitment. The EU and its member states welcome Nigeria's chairmanship of the Rabat process this year. This is a further illustration of Nigeria's commitment to promote a responsible and human-centered management of migration flows. The EU will accompany the country throughout the year to demonstrate our strong commitment to EU-Nigeria cooperation on migration and the Rabat process in general. Regarding the cooperation on legal migration, the EU works on further facilitating labor migration both at the legislative and operational levels. And allow me to quickly summarize the main ongoing initiatives on this important aspect. On the legislative level, the EU has worked on further simplifying legal migration procedures and facilitating international recruitment. First, the revised EU Blue Card Directive introduced more efficient rules for attracting highly skilled workers to the EU. Second, the revised Single Permit Directive streamlines the procedure for a work and residence permit and strengthens the protection against exploitation. Third, the Commission proposed the EU Talent Pool, which will be the first EU-wide platform making international recruitment easier, faster, and facilitate access to legal migration pathways and help to address EU's labor shortages. Concretely, it will connect EU employers looking for employees in sectors affected by shortages with job seekers residing in non-EU countries who have the skills to fill these positions. On the operational side, we launched talent partnerships with Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, and also Bangladesh and Pakistan. They aim at boosting cooperation on international labor mobility and skills development in a mutually beneficial way, and they are open to all skill levels, focusing on sectors of common interest. Talent partnerships include a series of actions that facilitate labor migration, but we need to move on from short-term, small-scale pilot projects to more substantial and sustainable projects and systems involving several member states and foreseeing higher numbers of mobilities. We are also looking forward to launching a future talent partnership with Nigeria, in combination with other measures like the signing of the EU-Nigeria readmission agreement. When speaking about enhancing legal migration corridors to the EU, we cannot forget about resettlement and humanitarian admission, which provide access to safe and legal pathways for the most vulnerable. This is key to share the responsibility and support countries hosting large populations of refugees. The new Union Resettlement and Humanitarian Admission Framework Regulation, adopted as part of the Pact of Migration and Asylum last year, attempts to advance EU efforts in admitting people in need of protection. The EU is now working to define the strategic priorities for its future efforts, and the European Commission is working to promote complementary pathways in addition to protection, in addition to resettlements, which will be innovative and skills-based. And the Commission is also soon to present a new pact for the Mediterranean, where the consultation with partner countries are currently ongoing. It will be in line with a comprehensive partnership approach and include elements on investment, economic stability, jobs, energy, transport, security, migration, and other areas of mutual interest. And finally, the European Commission will present later this year a visa strategy, which will include measures to support the arrival of top students, researchers, and trained workers from third countries. And all these initiatives always take into account the necessity to avoid a possible brain drain in countries of origin. Of course, this is a very important dimension. And they particularly can benefit to young people, which are the main subject of our meeting today and tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the EU particularly welcomes this topic, youth, education and innovation, driving the future of migration, under the core chairmanship of Nigeria and Spain. Youth is our future, whether in the EU, Africa or globally. And we need to invest in our youth and empower them to shape our common future. This is why recently, in 2022, the EU celebrated a European Year of Youth. But young people are also among the most vulnerable migrant population, especially young women. More specifically, we must ensure that there are effective and smooth procedures in place to allow for the exchange of knowledge and skills and encourage mobility in education, research, and innovation. And we have to treat young people as subjects, as actors, not only as objects of policies and projects. This is why it is so important to give the floor and listen to them at this thematic event we rightly do. And the European Union has launched, as other EU delegations around the world, a youth sounding board in Nigeria aimed at fostering meaningful youth participation in shaping EU policies and programs within the country. And we are proud to have the active participation of two members of our youth sounding board in this event today. They are sitting at the EU desk. The EU supports job creation and initiatives that provide young people in origin countries with a future and meaningful employment prospects. And let me mention some examples of what the EU does in and with Nigeria through various initiatives aimed at promoting economic development, entrepreneurship, and skills training, prioritizing youth and women empowerment. And I think that these initiatives align very much with the proposals put forward by both the honorable ministers a while ago. This includes initiatives to upgrade technical and vocational education and training institutions. Vet and skill acquisition, in particular for green jobs, are mainstreamed in all education, social protection, and durable solution projects currently implemented by the EU, for instance, through the Nigerian Jubilee Fellowship Program or the 3 million technical talents in the digital sector. The EU support to vocational institutional strengthening in the agricultural sector across 3 states in Nigeria, Plateau, Oyo, and Benue will also contribute to the Nigerian government's social agenda. The EU is also committed to legal migration opportunities for skilled Nigerians, and initiatives such as Tech Pro for Europe, Digital Explorers 2, and Sustain provide pathways for Nigerian talents to work directly with EU companies, enhancing skills transfer and fostering economic growth. Then, of course, there is the Erasmus Plus program, the European Union's flagship initiative for education, training, youth, and sports. And it plays a significant role in Nigeria and, of course, in other African countries, offering students and academic staff opportunities to pursue postgraduate studies and professional development in European institutions. In 2024, the EU awarded fully funded Erasmus Plus scholarships to 142 young Nigerians for postgraduate studies in top European universities. This achievement marked Nigeria as the leading African country and among the top 5 globally in terms of scholarship recipients. The European Union and Nigeria are also working closely together to combat human smuggling and trafficking, with a strong focus on preventing the exploitation of Nigerian youth. Through joint initiatives, capacity building for law enforcement agencies, and support for institutions like NAPTIP and NIS, the EU is helping to strengthen Nigeria's ability to detect, prevent, and prosecute trafficking networks. The EU also supports awareness-raising campaigns and community-based programs aimed at informing young Nigerians about the risks of irregular migration and the deceptive tactics of smugglers and traffickers. In a nutshell, what we are promoting with Nigeria, like with other partner countries, is a comprehensive approach of migration. And my speech was certainly not exhaustive in this respect, but in the interest of time, I will stop here. We intend to invest more in all these areas, in particular in the framework of our Global Gateway investment strategy. We are very grateful to the co-chair for their invitation and to the Nigerians for their hospitality in welcoming all delegations to this beautiful country. The EU is proud to support this event through our implementing partner, ICMPD, and we are very much looking forward to our discussions during these coming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for also reiterating the fact that Nigerians are very smart. And also all the supports that the EU has been providing for Nigerian youths and Nigeria at large. We appreciate the support. And so we'll move on very quickly to the Commissioner for Human Development and Social Affairs at ECOWAS, Madam Fatou Sousa. Please make her feel welcome.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur le ministre des Affaires humanitaires et de la réduction de la pauvreté de la République fédérale du Nigeria. Honorable professeur Yilwadda, je voudrais à travers vous adresser mes salutations distinguées à toutes les autorités ici présentes en leurs noms, titres et qualités, tout protocole observé, membres du gouvernement, du Parlement, de la société civile et la presse. Je présente aussi mes civilités à tous les membres du Présidium. Et je voudrais féliciter la République fédérale du Nigeria qui accueille cette importante manifestation et magnifier la bonne marche du processus de Rabat. C'est lors de la 6e conférence ministérielle du dialogue euro-africain sur la migration et le développement qui s'est tenue les 13 et 14 décembre 2022 à Cadiz, en Espagne, qu'il a été décidé d'élargir le dialogue à 4 nouveaux membres, à savoir le Niger, le Nigeria, les Pays-Bas et la Suisse. Je me réjouis donc aujourd'hui de voir le Nigeria accueillir cette rencontre thématique qui, je l'espère, nous aidera à poser de nouveaux jalons dans la bonne direction. Cette rencontre vise à explorer les moyens de maximiser le potentiel de la jeunesse africaine et d'améliorer sa contribution aux pays d'origine et de destination. Et 2 questions majeures nous préoccupent ici, qui vont être abordées, à savoir d'abord comment intégrer les perspectives des jeunes dans la gestion des migrations et deuxièmement, comment faire progresser la recherche sur les migrations et le renforcement des capacités grâce à l'innovation et aux partenaires stratégiques. Face aux défis migratoires en Afrique de l'Ouest, l'engagement de la CEDEAO s'est traduit dans les différentes stratégies et politiques régionales, notamment avec le protocole sur la libre circulation des personnes, le droit d'établissement et l'approche commune de la CEDEAO sur la migration. Elle a par ailleurs placé la lutte contre la pauvreté au cours des stratégies de réponse en insistant notamment sur la réduction des vulnérabilités, l'emploi des jeunes et des femmes, la formation professionnelle. Mais surtout, la CEDEAO a accompagné les pays membres dans la mise en œuvre de leur engagement et elle est allée plus loin en mettant à disposition de nos pays 9 millions de dollars au profit des populations de la sous-région. Mais depuis 2002, le département du développement humain et des affaires sociales a compris que l'enjeu, c'était la jeunesse. Comprendre ses préoccupations, ses problèmes et sa vision dans la recherche des solutions. C'est cela qui nous a poussés à lancer les assises nationales de la jeunesse dans différents pays de la CEDEAO et qui vont se poursuivre par les assises régionales qui se tiendront à Dakar du 1er au 3 juillet 2025. Nous avons compris que la question de la migration renvoie à des questions économiques et de développement tout court, ce qui passe par l'éducation, la formation et la recherche. C'est pourquoi le Forum africain pour la recherche et l'innovation, le FARI, que nous avons tenu à Cotonou du 5 au 9 mai dernier, avait pour thème la jeunesse africaine, l'innovation et l'entrepreneuriat pour un développement durable. Nous avons voulu soutenir la recherche et l'innovation des jeunes dans notre sous-région. Et nous avons lancé un concours des startups. 150 ont répondu à l'appel, 24 places ont été retenues. Les innovations montrent, celles qu'on nous a présentées à Cotonou, que ces jeunes essaient de répondre aux problèmes de leur population. Et ainsi, nous pouvons dire cela démontre que s'il y a des jeunes qui partent de l'Afrique par désespoir, il y en a d'autres qui participent au progrès de leur pays. Il s'agit de voir comment faire pour que ces derniers puissent tirer les autres au moment où l'Afrique représente l'Afrique de l'humanité. En effet, les innovations ont porté sur des questions qui préoccupent les populations des différents pays, qu'il s'agisse de dépistage instantané du cancer de l'utérus, qui permet de rejoindre plus facilement les femmes du monde rural, qu'il s'agisse de découvertes ou d'innovations plutôt sur la conservation des produits agricoles, de la mobilité des malvoyants, du traitement des déchets électroniques, de médicaments à base de produits naturels, etc. Mais pour aller plus loin, il nous faut examiner les limites des politiques migratoires qui ont été développées jusqu'ici, qu'il s'agisse de celles de l'Europe comme de celles des pays africains. Et nous pensons, comme vous, qu'il est temps de changer d'approche et d'être à l'écoute de la jeunesse, car c'est sûrement cela la voie à suivre. C'est cela que je voulais partager avec vous par rapport aux orientations de la CEDEAO. Je vous remercie, messieurs et madame, pour votre aimable attention.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Fatou Sosa, who is Commissioner for Human Development and Social Affairs at ECOWAS. Now, I have the honor of inviting my very good friend, I like to say, who is the head of Pan-African region at the International Center for Migration Policy Development. Please welcome Madam Monica Zanet.
Thank you very much, Alex. Indeed, good friends. Honorable Minister, Madame la Commissaire, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning, bonjour, welcome, and bienvenue. It is a great honor to be here today with you in this vibrant city of Abuja for the first thematic meeting of the Nigerian chairmanship of the Rabat process 2025, dedicated to the crucial themes of youth, innovation, and education. What a powerful trio. Allow me first, on behalf of the International Center for Migration Policy Development, which I represent today here with my colleagues, and in my capacity as head of the Pan-African region, to express our sincere appreciation to the government, the federal government of Nigeria, not only for hosting us with the best possible standards in Abuja, but also for the initiative of placing this important topic in a very timely way at the heart of their chairmanship. I think that Honorable Minister in his speech outlined the importance and the reasons why the Nigerian chairmanship decided to make of this topic the first event of their chairmanship. And the speeches that followed can only confirm the importance of addressing, again, this powerful trio. My deep gratitude goes also to the government of the Kingdom of Spain for co-chairing this event and for the unwavering commitment to the Rabat process. This meeting is the result of intense preparation and close collaboration between the governments of Nigeria and Spain, as we have already heard, sustained over the past months. Here, I wish to particularly commend our co-chairs for their steadfast dedication in shaping a rich, forward-looking and results-driven program. Their joint efforts with the support of my colleagues at the Secretariat, lay a strong foundation for what I'm confident will be a series of insightful and impactful discussions in the next 2 days. Thematic meetings such as today have long proven to be both responsive to current and emerging trends, and to be particularly instrumental in bringing together diverse expertise to support informed policy making and foster collaboration on cross-cutting issues. Youth, innovation, and education are powerful drivers of change and must be recognized as central pillars of strategic migration governance. They are key to advancing the objectives of the Cadiz Action Plan, which governs the work of, and guides the work of the Rabat process, and notably the priorities set under Area 1, enhancing the benefits of migration and addressing the root causes of irregular migration and forced displacement. And the recommendations, they also followed today's meeting. We must remind that it also follows the recommendations of the thematic meeting on migration, youth and development that was held in October 2023 in The Hague under the Dutch and Nigerian co-chairs and under the then Moroccan presidency of the Rabat process. By 2030, less than 5 years from now, the number of young people, that is ranging from the age of 15 to 24, is expected to reach nearly 1.3 billion worldwide. This demographic represents a powerful reservoir of strength, creativity, skills, and resilience with immense potential to shape the future of migration and development governance. As former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan once said, the youth of today are not just the leaders of tomorrow, they are the change makers of today. Nowhere is this opportunity more evident than in Africa, where by 2030, youth are projected to account for 42% of the global youth population. Simultaneously, European countries are facing demographic transformation marked by aging population and labor shortages in key sectors. Challenges that also create unprecedented opportunities. This unique demographic complementarity between Africa and Europe offers a strategic moment to harness the potential of youth as strategic agents of positive change across partner countries of the Rabat process. It calls for strengthened cooperation to foster sustainable migration governance that benefit both countries of origin and destination, while empowering individuals to address the root causes of forced displacement and irregular migration. It is in this period that today's meeting brings together youth-led organizations, entrepreneurs, government representatives, and key experts in the fields of education, youth, innovation, migration, and diaspora engagement. Together, we will explore strategic avenues to ensure that youth voices are meaningfully integrated into migration governance, and that young people are recognized not only as beneficiaries of policies, but as co-creators of sustainable migration and development processes. Our discussions will also focus on how to more effectively promote youth-focused migration initiatives by exploring youth-specific mobility pathways such as education and training, labor mobility, and innovation transfer. We will examine how to stimulate entrepreneurship and innovation, strengthen the impact of diaspora investment, and enhance the developmental benefits of remittances flows. This meeting creates a space for peer learning and meaningful exchange across the region and beyond. We look forward to exploring concrete practices that empower young people, including from the diaspora. Senegal, for instance, has launched a flagship initiative that supports diaspora-led youth entrepreneurship and reintegration, and Nigeria offers internship and mentoring platforms that connect young diaspora with cultural, heritage, and development projects. Morocco's annual programs engage diaspora youth in policy dialogue, helping to strengthen their civic engagement and connection to national development. These experiences underscore the potential for collaboration and mutual inspiration across countries. This meeting also presents a timely opportunity to reflect on existing frameworks, highlight the success factors of current programs, and identify ways to ensure that education opportunities are both inclusive and aligned with labor market needs, in both countries of origin and destination. It is only through collective will, coordinated action, and the shared sense of responsibility that we can fully unlock the potential of young migrants, a potential that, if nurtured, holds tremendous promise for the prosperity and resilience of our societies, both on the African and European continents. Meetings like the one we are opening now and holding today and tomorrow play an important role in advancing these goals. Before concluding, allow me still a couple of thanking words. First and foremost to the co-chairs, the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Kingdom of Spain, for their exemplary cooperation and tireless effort in making this meeting a reality. A warm thank to the European Commission for its invaluable support to the Rabat process, without which this gathering, like all the others, would not have been possible. Finally, I would like to express my deep appreciation to my dear colleagues in the Rabat Process Secretariat for their outstanding work in organizing this important meeting. And here I have to add, together with the Nigerian team, if I may say so, a special mention to Ambassador Catherine Udida and Alex, who are on a daily basis cooperating with us. I look forward to our dynamic and constructive discussions over the next 2 days. I'm confident that the outcomes of this meeting will contribute meaningfully to advancing an inclusive, sustainable, and youth-driven migration agenda. As the singer of our singer that introduced the meeting, quoting the words of the Turandot opera they performed for us, they said, "Vincerò, we will win, we will make it." So I wish you all a productive and inspiring meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Monica Zenet. And now we have in our midst, like has been recognized earlier, some of the thematic leads for migration governance in Nigeria. We have, as we already recognized earlier, the head of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, who's the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri. We also have, of course, more or less the chief host, the highly esteemed Honorable Federal Commissioner, the National Commission for Refugees, Honorable Tijani Aliyu Ahmed. And we also have representing the Migration Data Management Working Group, the representation from the National Population Commission, who is the Honorable Commissioner of Edo State. And we have also the DG, representing the DG of NIA and the Minister of Women Affairs. And so we will just take 1 minute messages, just 1 minute, 60 seconds. And of course, representing my very remiss of me, representing the Comptroller General of Immigration, we have, of course, the highly esteemed Deputy Comptroller General of Immigration, Uma. You're welcome, sir. So we will take just 1 minute messages from them just to reiterate their support for migration governance, and we will start from the chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa. You take from there.
Thank you very much and good morning.
No, it's from there, please.
We were told to take it from here.
Please.
It's just a goodwill message. Good morning again. I stand by all protocols, as we say here, but let me recognize our honorable ministers, humanitarian, youth, and of course EU, all of you. You're welcome to Nigeria. Good morning again, and I hope you've been enjoying the warmth and beauty of Nigeria and Abuja and our hospitality. Well, I look forward to this conference, and thank you, Spain, for the support. Thank you, Refugee Commission, for all the hard work that you and your team have put into making this happen. As Chairman, Nigerian and Diaspora Commission, I'm particularly excited that we're hosting this first thematic meeting of the Rabat process here with the theme of youth, education, and innovation. Because for me, it's very touching that daily we are bombarded with young people, talented young Nigerians, being trafficked, and then we have to bring them back home. Just last week, actually, I was on hand in Lagos to receive 231 young people that were trafficked to Ghana. And there's still so much more, thousands out there. So as we host this meeting here, we hope that we can truly put a stop to the issue of irregular migration and find practical solutions to safe pathways to regular migration. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's about time that we put a stop to it, and hopefully we achieve that with this meeting. And when you say young people, those I received last week, about 11 of them were under 16 years old. And you wonder, they come back dejected, rejected, and we had to give them hope. That, you know what, as the minister said, the president of Nigeria is focused on youth development, but we must ensure that we put a stop to this irregular migration. And the migrants do have rights. Sometimes they are treated shabbily and very, very bad way. And I think I'll make my reference to ECOWAS. ECOWAS, there's a lot of work to be done on the continent in terms of migration around ECOWAS itself. We're having more problems with migration within the continent. So as we embark on this thematic meeting, we in the Diaspora Commission have been engaging, particularly our youth. We have special programs for them, and I'm glad one of it was mentioned here, targeted at the youth. They can play a major role in the issue of migration. They have a major role to play in being part of the policies and development. They have a major role to play because they can bring in their skills transfer, knowledge into this topic we're discussing today. So I look forward to a very fruitful deliberation. We'll be speaking later, and we hopefully, at the end of this summit, we'll be having practical solutions to this big problem we've been dealing with. Thank you very much, and welcome to Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Abike. And now we'll hear from the representative of the Controller General of Immigration Service, CGI Nandab, who's ably represented by DCG Umar.
Good morning, Honorable Minister, Humanitarian Affairs and Youth Development, other distinguished guests at this great occasion, Chairperson, Diaspora Commission, our own Honorable Abike Dabre. I'm enjoying the Sunday tonic of those days, right, very close to me. You are all welcome, distinguished delegates and ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is DCG MT Umar, ICT and Cybersecurity Directorate. I'm here representing the Comptroller General Nigeria Immigration Service, Madam Kemi Nanananda, and I'm delivering her message, goodwill message here. But before her message, I want to make a comment, especially when we watch a little drama that just happened here, where someone blocked the guest to the queen, or the royal father, or His Majesty, telling him that his visa stamp is not clear. I want to let you know that Nigerian Immigration Service, our visas are very clear. Very clear, the stamps are very clear. And this is because we have embraced technology, we have embraced innovation, and these innovations and technology have been driven by young, talented officers and men. And that is why we are achieving what we have achieved so far, and leading to an efficient and effective border and migration management. So this occasion is a great one for us, and as a messenger, I want to just use part of that 1 minute to read out, our CGI's message to this great occasion. It is a great honor and deep appreciation that I welcome you all to Nigeria for this important thematic meeting on migration dialogue, focusing on subjects that resonate deeply with the future of our continent and beyond. On behalf of Nigerian Immigration Service, we wish to extend our compliment to the organizers, all stakeholders and member states of the Rabat process for selecting Nigeria as both clear and host of this historic event. The themes reflect a fundamental truth: the youth of Africa are the future of migration. They represent our 60% of Africa's population under the age of 25. They represent the energetic and highly mobile category. Therefore, the need to engage them through the lens of opportunity, capacity development, and technological innovation wrapped up in migration policies. We must empower our youth with the access and quality education, skills, and labor development, armed with innovation that will not only prepare them for global workforce, but also enable them to strive within their home countries. Through managed migration, stemmed by fairness, safety, regular, and innovation, a precursor for national development and regional stability. Nigeria Immigration Service, a critical holder in the migration governance space, has evolved by embracing digital transformation, strengthening identity management system, and collaborating with education and technology sector, thereby creating pathways that are safe, regular, and orderly. Let this gathering serve as a platform for new ideas, pragmatic solutions, and strengthen partnership. Let us align our migration policies with aspirations of our young people who deserve not just mobility, but meaningful opportunities and dignity. Once again, on behalf of Nigerian Immigration Service, I welcome you to Nigeria, a nation committed to advancing orderly, safety, and innovative migration governance in Africa and beyond. I wish you fruitful deliberation and impactful outcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Controller General of Immigration, ably represented by DCG Umar. You used a Nigerian minute to make your intervention. So I would like to appeal to my bosses, who I'll be calling next, to please use an international minute. Yeah, not Nigerian. Nigerian time is different. Yeah, voila. So I'd like to invite now, representing the Honorable Chairman of the National Population Commission, Honorable Nasir Issa Kwara, who's ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Edo State of the National Population Commission, Dr. Tony Ayejina. One minute.
We use Edo 1 minute.
Edo 1 minute.
Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, occupiers of the high table, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and of course my colleagues here, especially our celebrated Abike Dabiri, for the good work you are doing. I am here in a representative capacity for Alhaji Nasir Issa Kwara, who is unavoidably absent, with apologies. At the National Population Commission, our constitutional mandate, apart from censuses, periodic censuses, we are into surveys, regular surveys, designed to guide socio-economic policies of government. Migration issue has become a headache. If I say this is not an overstatement, and there is no shame stating this. So when we got the invitation to be here, perhaps as an observer, we were excited to come here, and that is why we are here. I was very excited when the youth minister, able youth minister, used the word synergy. And at the Population Commission, we call for a sustenance of a synergy between us as a commission with a constitutional mandate and the secretariat of the Rabat process. I pledged that I was going to use 1 minute. I therefore pray for useful deliberations of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Tony Ayejina, for keeping to the Edo minute. Now I'd like to invite, representing the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, he is representing His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed, Mr. Francis Emena. 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria present, our European partners, delegates, good morning. I bring you goodwill message from His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed, Director General, National Intelligence Agency. This meeting cannot be done elsewhere and cannot be done at any other auspicious time except this period, where there is a global challenge of migration from Africa to Lampedusa. This meeting, we hope we find a solution to this migration, an illegal migration of the 20% that are not covered by the legal migration. And for us, from our own end, we are always in contact with the problem because of our services abroad. I want, as we do this deliberation, I'll plead that international partners should also track the proceeds of the traffickers, the funding. By the time you stop the funding, there will be no incentive for them to engage in it. And on this honor, I pray that the meeting will have a fruitful deliberation, and we wish you safe stay in Abuja. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Mohammed, ably represented. And now I'd like to hear from, we'll be hearing from the representative of the Honorable Minister for the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Hajia Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, FSI, who is ably represented by Hajia Hadiza Gamawa Zubeiru. 45 seconds.
Good morning, honorable ministers here present, heads of agencies, distinguished delegates, our partners, good morning. I bring you a warm welcome and greetings from the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Honorable Iman Suleiman Ibrahim. She sends her message today as a former federal commissioner of this of the National Commission for Refugees, and also the first female Minister of Police Affairs, and now currently the Minister of Women Affairs. She is very, very involved in this process. She understands what it means when you speak about migration and internally displaced persons. And she says that the most important thing she would like this meeting to address today is to ensure that, or to understand that our people or our migrants and our internally displaced persons, they have a place in Nigeria. And to understand that the ministry is developing programs or is upskilling programs currently targeted at skills training, financial inclusion, psychosocial support, technology-enabled services for women and girls, and also for the migrants, IDPs, and returnees. The goal is not only to protect them, but to empower and reintegrate them. And her last message is that we should understand, we should remember, as we deliberate today, that our young people deserve to move by choice, not by desperation. They deserve policies that protect them, and not platforms that just are there for individuals that do not become a part of it, but they deserve platforms that empower them and systems that prepare them for leadership. So this is the message she sends today, and she wishes you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the representative of Her Excellency, the Minister of Women Affairs, who coincidentally, just like you said, was the immediate past Honorable Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons. And in fact, in many ways, she's always been very part of the Rabat process. I think she's a friend of the Rabat process, and thank you very much for delivering her remarks. We will now take another short remark from the representative of the Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Haja Binta Adamu Bello, who is ably represented. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of my Director General, Haja Binta Adamu Bello, I want to congratulate us for this auspicious meeting. It's quite apt. Over the years, NAPTIP has received victims of human trafficking and illegal migration in collaboration with most of our partners here, especially through the Diaspora Commission. And I'm very happy to see all the countries here who have acted as a source of transit for victims of trafficking and illegal migration. It's like I can see the voices and faces of the victims we have received by looking at you. Thank you very much for having this meeting. Like my Director General always says, she's fighting the traffickers, chasing them, and we are getting them. But this meeting also is an avenue to build the capacity of our youths. When they get there, do they really want to go out of Nigeria? Do they really want to become victims of illegal migration? Those questions would sit during the process of the TABAT process involving the youths to ascertain whether that journey they want to take is really worth it. Once again, on behalf of my Director General, I thank you for this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. NAPTIP is one of the lead agencies for border management. They co-chair the Border Management Working Group alongside the Nigerian Immigration Service. And they are a very strong support of a lot of the activities that we are doing here. Now, it would be remiss if I have called all the other thematic leads to give a word, and I do not give the floor to somebody who everybody has referenced, because he has been very integral to this meeting put together. I would like to invite the Honorable Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Honorable Tijani Aliyu Ahmed, for just a short, brief statement.
It should be short now, very short indeed, because the minister is already. Let me first of all welcome all the delegates from the 57 countries across the world. And let me specifically welcome my minister, Professor Ntawe, who has been on up and doing to ensure that this arrangement become a very successful one. Our Minister, we thank you very sincerely for all the effort. And on behalf of the National Commissions for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, we'd like you to extend our appreciation to Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for the contribution, commitment, and the support that has been given this commission. Of course, without that, we wouldn't have been here today. Let me assure all the delegates that you are in Nigeria, and you should feel very free and to open your eyes and ears, because what we have started today is just the beginning.
Yes, sir.
And I assure you that later in the evening, probably you will clean your eyes and then clean your mouth and to see what this night will look like. The National Commissions under the Minister have organized a very beautiful get-together dinner, and then we are going to showcase to all of you Nigerians' culture, which you will appreciate and beginning to remember anytime you are in your country. I want to thank you all for coming and to wish you a safe deliberation and a successful discussion. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, for really setting the ball rolling and also announcing as well that tonight we have a very wonderful cultural event that has been put together by the Commission under the guidance of the Minister, and it's going to be an awesome time later this evening. I'm just hoping that we will not be hungover by tomorrow and unable to attend to tomorrow's proceedings. All right, so we will be breaking very shortly. Just to remind us again, of course, from the messages that we've heard from all the delegates, representatives from the high table, we have an idea of why we are here, to promote youth-focused migration initiatives. And then, of course, for those of us who have been part of the Rabat process, we may recall that there was a meeting in 2023 that was co-chaired by Nigeria and the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which was on youth migration, youth innovation and migration. And so part of the objectives of this meeting is really to look at the recommendations from that meeting, share